Hey, welcome to the 10-Minute Daily Reality Check. David Wygant here, self-help that doesn't suck. Anyway, Eddie Palmer's back in the house. Eddie, yesterday was a great conversation we had. And what I liked about that conversation, and hopefully people will learn or understand, is that standards are very important in life. But today, as people go down this journey to do what? The journey to be more self-aware, the journey to be more alert, the journey to date better, the journey to do everything better, right? What I'm hearing from you and something that you told me is thou shalt show restraint.
Yes, just because you can does not mean you should.
Explain that.
All right, Dave, you've been in this business forever and a day, and you're very good at understanding women's needs, concepts, basic instincts. So if I put you in a bar on a Saturday night, it's pretty safe bet to say you do pretty well. Doesn't mean you should.
No.
That's basically keeping the perpetuation going of the problems that people have. Women don't trust men and men don't trust women. Well, a lot of that is because some men abuse their power. Just because you can pick up on younger or more vulnerable women or people in a different place doesn't mean you should. That might be the time where you need to interject some confidence, some courage, a word of kindness, or interjects a hug into somebody versus always give Dave the saying. Some girls you meet don't need dick, they need a hug. And you need to know when to do that.
You know, it's so true. It's like a lot of men and a lot of women too.
Women too.
Let's just, women, we're throwing men under the bus right now. You're going to join them in a second, okay?
It's 2017.
Yep, the short school bus is going to go pick you up as well too, okay? So it's funny because a lot of people are using Tinder as what I call swipe and petri dishes, right? Because that's what they are. So a lot of people are not showing this
I've heard Tinder is just like the booty call app. That's what I've known it as. I don't, that's what I hear
It's beyond a booty call app. I mean, and it's funny because a lot of people are having random sex.
Oh, yeah.
And men and women. Men don't like to use condoms. Women don't like, no one really likes to use a condom, right? And here you have these people, they're meeting somebody on Tinder, and you got this young girl and an older guy, and the older guy's having the opportunity to have sex with a young girl. He shows zero restraint. The girl says, don't worry about it. I'm on the pill. He thinks he's home free, and then 2 weeks later he's got chlamydia. There's no restraint anymore because it used to be only the guys with mad skills would be able to go into a bar on a Friday or Saturday night, and then a woman would have to go and sleep with somebody with mad skills, which the majority of guys aren't. So really, casual sex has had a boom back because years ago, you had to have a rap to get laid. Now, all you got to do is swipe, show up, and not ruin it in the hour, and both of you can then go and have sex. So there's no restraint going on anymore.
That's very true. That's very true. And even if you take the Tinder aspect out of it and just mean, which God forbid this happen, a casual encounter at the bar, we can placate who we are, based on bullcrap status to get you where you're at, because now we're in a more attention-driven society. But exactly what you're saying, just because I can pick up a more vulnerable person, male or female, doesn't mean I should, because they're at a point where they need it more than just that physical, but they're thinking they need that physical. And you should be big enough and smart enough to go, here's a spot where I could do something just out of pure fun or pleasure, and I'm going to do something to uplift somebody else. And I've been there many times. I've met girls out and about talking, especially at parties and things, and they're just talking, and you can already see where the conversation is leading. They're putting themselves in a position to be to have a good evening, or putting themselves in a position that, I want to have fun tonight. I need something different in my life to spice up. When really they just need someone to say, hey, what you really want, you're not going to find in tonight's, you're going to find in life. And you need to take a little slower approach to things, because oftentimes girls are used, I had sex, I met him, I had sex with them. Hey, now that we've had sex, you want to get to know me? Let's go out. It's like you kind of had that reversed. And so we got to learn that just because we can do something, male and female, because women, it's a lot easier for you guys to get laid than men, doesn't mean you should. Because if you decide you want to do it, you do it. Just like you were saying about Tinder, to placate both sides for women. I know plenty of women who go through random guys in a night just because they can on Tinder to fulfill their wild side. Then they leave themselves in a vulnerability because they don't really have what they want. And now they have a reputation. So there's another reason why just because you can doesn't mean you should.
Well, I think what I think is interesting, and I think to me, I look at my sex life like the stock market. I was on a major fucking bull run. in my 20s, right? As you were. You know, it's like boom, 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 just plowing through. Like, it would be on. Walking in a fucking club.
In a China shop.
Right? Walking into a club, seeing a woman in the corner, seeing naughty, dirty girl come out right in front of my eyes, right? And then all of a sudden, I'd stand there, arms folded, hanging out against the thing. She'd come over and ask me to dance. I'd look at her and say, whatever sexual fantasy you're having about me right now is going to be ruined if you see the way I dance. I would just prefer to remain cool and hot in your mind. And it was on, right? And, and that worked all the time. And I had this incredible bull run. And then all of a sudden, I started showing restraint because I wanted to have relationships. And that's another thing, too. If you're out there sowing your wild oats and having no restraint, you're not going to get a relationship, because the only way you're going to have a relationship is by showing restraint, because you start honoring yourself. And now I look at my sex life. I used to be able to count on one hand how many I slept in a week, right? 2 weeks I'd have to use 2 hands. It got to that point in my 20s. Now all of a sudden I can count on, a few fingers how many people I sleep with in a year, and I'm talking like I don't need fingers, toes, and everything else, I can really do it with 2 fingers. That's really what it's come down to, because I'm showing restraint because I'm at a much higher level than I've ever been in my life, and I want a partner. Because to me, casual sex is not good sex. Soul sex is the only sex that I want. Connection, be seen, be safe.
Ask yourself a question, and just ask yourself a question. When you're having sex with that, just because you got that girl home at the bar that night, and you back in your bed, and everything's going the way it should, and everything's happening, you're in the moment. Ask yourself, what gratification are you really getting out of that? Because as soon as you're done, you're ready for her to go. You're ready. You're already in the next day mode. You're ready to text your buddies and say, "Hey, I had sex with that girl I met last night," and get a high five, and that's it. And so we go to work Monday and we start the cycle over again next weekend. So where's the gratification?
It's ego validation for people, and that's the sad thing about it, is because they don't want to get deeper themselves. Because I remember, you always called it, it's masturbating inside, or it's mutual masturbating with somebody. That's all it is. You might as well come on a napkin, because that's all you're doing. You're just using her body as a way to ejaculate. And women aren't even getting off, because most of the time, when you're in a one night stand with a guy, I'm sorry, the guy that's giving you a one night stand, he's Minuteman. He probably doesn't go down on you because he's got a fear of going down on you. Secondly, he just wants to come because this is just a porn for him.
Pretty much.
So he's inside of you. He's going to position flip you around, take you in one position or the other. So even if you get the right friction, and that's all it really is, just friction between 2 bodies, because there's no emotional attachment. So you know damn well that the majority of women have been proven that they can't orgasm unless there's some type of emotional connection. Yeah. So here you're taking his soul, his energy, and you're allowing him to come on you, come inside you, come all over you, mark his territory. And you know what? At the end of it, if you're really being fucking honest with yourself, you want to leave his house as bad as he wants to chew off his fucking arm and run away from it as well, too. So there's no restraint. And I think part of it comes down to, and I want your opinion on this, and then we're at our fucking mark, right? Once again, 10 minutes goes by super, super fast, Eddie. I think this sets people back.
Yeah.
I think it gives people a Band-Aid on really going after what they want. I think most people are afraid to go after what they want, so then they take what they can get. Yeah,
think about it like this. You're jaded now. So now all women are this way, or all men are this way. And so it's going to take you however long it's going to take you to come out of your jaded reality of what life is. All women aren't that way. All men aren't that way. That's just what you perceive from what you've been doing. Because you can, you could, and you did. And now you see the actions of that. You're left in a bubble where you see things only one way, and it's hard to see that when you see 2 people holding hands that, oh, she's really faithful, or a few drinks you have her, or I remember I see that girl at the club one night and she was doing this and the third. But guess what? They found themselves. They found somebody who's going to uplift them and support them and carry them every day. And that's what we all need in life. At some point in time, and it's early in our adolescence, as we get into our adulthood life, we have a few of those moments where we understand what our manhood and our womanhood is. But then we move on and look for the next phase of manhood and womanhood. And that's what you have to do. Just because you can doesn't mean you should. That's when you become a real man and woman.
We're just using one another and fucking each other over.
Yeah.
And that's the reason why people are so angry and they hate dating so much. Because for every single person that... And the men are at fault for this, and the women are at fault for believing. Every single man will go into and go, I want a relationship, I want this, I want that. And then the woman goes, okay, he wants me. And then the woman sleeps with him too long because she thinks that once she hands over the keys to the castle, the man is hooked, right? But in reality, you're hooking the wrong man, because if you're using sex to hook him, you're hooking a man that really isn't that great at sex to begin with anyway, and you're just another conquest on his belt. And that is reality right there. I mean, that is a cold, hard reality.
Yeah.
A woman said to me recently, and I was coaching her, and she says, David, she goes, I just want to get to know somebody for at least a month or two before I sleep with them. Can I tell a man that? And I look at her, and I literally clap my hands like this, and I was like, she goes, what? I go, I'm giving you a standing ovation. You can't see me standing right now because I'm at the other end of a phone. But yes, because a real man will look at you and go, a month? No problem. He'll plan activities. He'll cuddle. He'll snuggle with you. Doesn't mean you can't fool around at all, but you're going to have restraint. And the restraint is you're going to be able to see that person without the oxytocin. Oxytocin is like, pass me some oxytocin. Let me take it's like putting in a bong and go, oxytocin.
One of my clients, I'll give you real quick. One of my clients, I met her before she got married. Been with her since she got married. We trained every day until she had 2 kids, literally to the day she gave birth. Her and her husband, they waited don't get me wrong, I'd say 90 days just to be sure before they were any type of intimate. And what that did was build a bond. And that same bond is there because when she talks about her husband, I always hear her say this phrase, he's my favorite person in the world. Not I love my husband or he's my favorite guy. He's my favorite person in the world. That's a relationship that's not going to be shooken or broken or divided because as people, they respect and love each other. And he's done wonderful things for her and vice versa. It's good to see because it gave me hope and understanding that when you do it the right way and you get to know somebody and build a bond, you get to know your partner, as I always say, not their pelvis, you have something there.
So true. Get to know your partner and not their pelvis and form the bond. Eddie, how can they get in touch with you?
EddiePalmer12@gmail.com. Just send your requests, questions, concerns. We'll go from there.
Best fitness trainer in Los Angeles and the whole entire world, man. All right, you're going to come back tomorrow. Self-help that doesn't suck. 10-minute daily reality check. David Wygant out. You know where to find me. DavidWygant.com. Send info on who you are and what you'd like to talk about. Or maybe if you're some life-changing, amazing individual that feels that you can change my audience's opinion on something really crucial when it comes down to love, dating, sex, relationships, money, fitness, health, wellness, and everything else, shoot me an email. I'd love to have you on the show.